Hello everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Behind the Scenes. This time, we've got Fibha Ahmed, our sales director, on the show. It's going to be a jam-packed one, so let's get started. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and thanks Fibha for being yourself, for joining us on the show. How do you feel today?
I feel great, and thank you very much for inviting me over and giving me an opportunity to sit in our CEO's old office, which has become a studio now.
You head our sales team at Bayut and dubizzle. Can you talk a bit about the team, and we're also curious about what happened during the merger?
Merger happened at a very interesting time when the whole world was going through very unprecedented times. I know this word is now overused, but it's interesting to see that during that time, we could come to our people, our partners and people who are our family who work with Bayut and dubizzle. We could come to them with the news that there is hope. Two big property portal giants in the industry are coming together to give all of the employees an opportunity to take it to the next level and succeed in their lives and their careers. We got this announcement that the CEO wants to address the team, and the first thought that came to their mind was maybe we would not have our jobs, or maybe I might get a salary cut. I still remember, I think it was the 27th of April or 28th of April 2020 when Haider got in front of the employees of Bayut and announced the merge. I think he had to repeat it twice because people took some time to absorb the news. They'd already come with the mindset of, again, reminding you that these are lockdown times, COVID times. People could expect anything and everything. So when he got in front of everybody and he announced the merge, people took some time to absorb it. And then after that came the shock. People had to take some time to adjust to the new normal.
The good shock.
The good shock, because we were competitors. When I was selling in 2014, 2015, I used to sell against dubizzle. Dubizzle was the king back in the day, and it was a milestone. We had a proposition like never seen before in this market that we could go to our partners with and kind of leverage on because we have the platform where we can serve our real estate ecosystem much better and in a more fluid manner. So it was a massive opportunity, very inspiring and very exciting for people who were in Bayut in its early days, and I think equally exciting for the new ones as well.
Mm-hmm. And just talking about that exact time, pre-pandemic days, let's call it that. Mm-hmm. We also had packages for our clients in terms of helping them with their business. We were just giving back to the real estate market.
Absolutely.
And just looking at the journey that, specifically your team has had.
Yes.
We've got the highest number of clients on our platform.
Absolutely.
And I have to ask this question, is there any proud moment that you've had during this journey in Bayut and dubizzle?
I had many proud moments, many proud moments coming from 140 paid partners on the platform to what it is today. I think it's a big milestone. There are many great memories. If you ask me right now, I would say B3DXB was a massive milestone. I still remember when we entered the venue and I saw the size of the screen, I had goosebumps. And I was in the venue the night before when we were rehearsing. Spencer was doing his full of energy rehearsal and the roar. It did not hit me, but when I entered the venue in the morning, just before the event, and just looking at the sheer size of the screen, I got goosebumps. And when I saw that video of the journey that we've had at Bayut, it's so inspiring. I think it's beyond words. And I can take full, I would say that the entire team felt that moment, and it still brings a lot of motivation and a lot of, that notion to do more and that spirit to go the extra mile and do more. Another milestone was when we opened the office on the 7th floor. I've had multiple clients come here for an office tour, and the sheer size of our business setup here is very inspiring for our partners as well. So I think that makes me very proud. But most of all, I would say seeing the growth of people that I work with, that I've seen here over the last couple of years and more, how they have matured into bigger roles, how they have matured as individuals and as people, that just makes me very, very proud. Same goes for you, Charles. I remember the day I interviewed you. You reminded me of that day today, and you reminded that question I asked you that was quite long ago. It was in our Media City office. But look where you are today. I mean, you're one example. There are very many. I think that's where I really take a lot of pride to see the journey that you guys have been through.
So, Fibha, just talking about, the great moments that we've had at Bayut and dubizzle. I remember the sales team being in a small conference room, and now hundreds of people have joined the team. Is there anything specific that you look for in a salesperson as such?
One thing that I always look for is their attitude. When I make a decision, it's 80% attitude, 20% aptitude, because I believe that sales aptitude or sales discipline is something you can teach people. They need to bring the right attitude.
And if I can just sort of stretch that question a bit, having been in an interview with you, is there any unique moment that you've seen in one of these interview processes?
Should I quote the interview that we just spoke about?
Let's stay away from that for now.
I talk about an interview that's fairly recent. It's not 3-4 years ago. So interviews could be very boring. I'm gonna make a confession here, especially sales interviews. Half of the time we are selling ourselves to our relations, to our peers, especially in interviews. We sometimes try too hard as salespeople. So it's difficult to kind of say or have that one sales interview that stands out, but I have one that I'll share. So I interviewed a guy maybe a year ago. I'm not going to take names. Of course, the guy is an integral part. Well, it's a guy. I've given half of it away. And the individual is an integral part of our team now. The person walks into the interview, and my first impression is, just another sales interview. During the interview, the person shared their experiences, and they went into detail as to how they used to work hard, or how he managed to turn around a very difficult situation at work. However, what I would always remember about that individual is, so the person is telling me that he's very driven and he doesn't give up, and when somebody says to him that, you can't do this, that's when he makes it a point that he proves the other person wrong. Just like that, I had a moment. I'm like, let's see how flexible this guy is, because this could either be bad for the business, right? And for everything. I was like, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I don't think you can touch the ceiling. Can you? Like either by jumping or just by standing up. You're a tall individual, but I don't think you can touch the ceiling. He could not believe what I asked him to do. Then I repeated. He's like, what? It's like, I don't think you can touch that ceiling. No, you wouldn't. You're in an interview, all dressed. He didn't know what to do in that moment. Is it a trick question? Is it a slip question? Is she trying to take me off guard? I have just told her stories about how resilient I am in my account management and my sales activity. He looked at me and he's like, you know what? I don't know how you thought of it, but I'll do it. He got up, he jumped, touched the ceiling, and was blushing. However, he said, never thought of that, never heard of that, will always remember that. I sought permission before sharing the story, and I promise that I will not share the name. So let's keep it at that.
Just talking about the interview process, I'm curious, how was yours? Where did your journey start in this sales career?
I go back to that time and I remember I was nervous. I had never done a Skype interview. I'm a salesperson, so I need that connection to kind of put my best foot forward. And here I am in Pakistan, back in 2014, no Zoom, on Skype. I still remember Haider was standing, leaning against the window, and this is when our office was in Dubai Internet City, in his office, and I was back home in Pakistan. I do not remember the questions that were asked, but the memory I have is that it was on Skype back in the day, and me, who is such a great fan of having a human interaction and face-to-face encounter, had to do my interview on Skype.
And you've loved the day you joined.
I have loved every single moment of that, and I still continue to love it. 8 years with Bayut and dubizzle, 8 years of working with this leadership team, of working with Haider and all of the team, has been an amazing journey with massive learnings, with brilliant milestones. I mean, they are milestones to us, but they are also milestones to the real estate community. Like our TrueCheck feature that we have, I believe no other feature in any of the advertising platforms at the moment is as relevant to an end user in their journey of looking for a property than TrueCheck, because our biggest pain is the availability. So my milestones are very, very personal, but at the same time, they're very industry driven as well. I mean, I take a lot of pride in this as well.
You're just talking about that, and I know this because you're one of the most respected people here.
Thank you.
And we were just joking about this, that you know exactly what you want. But I want to ask this question, is there something that you've always thought of that, hey, I need to get that someday?
I would like to be a life coach. At some point in time in my life.
Think you have enough people?
I want to make a difference in the lives of women who are struggling to get to where they want to be in life, in their careers. I'm happy to even just be there for young, thriving women to kind of connect with and share my experience and my journey. I believe that's what I want to do. Oprah Winfrey is a big call, but I take Fibha Ahmed, and Fibha in Dubai would probably be the tagline, not Emily in Paris, but I would love to do that. I want to be that go-to person that people, especially women, can come to and feel safe, that they can share their challenges. And maybe I can take a leaf from my book and share my experiences that would make a difference.
That's great. That's great. Well, it's been one very fast-paced catch-up, this one especially. So thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
How do you like the set? Do you like this place?
I love the place. I think it's very special. It's Haider's old office when he was on 5th floor, so
Goosebumps.
It's very special. Yeah. I feel very honored that the interview is being conducted here. I know we're turning this into a studio, so thank you for starting with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Fibha.
You're welcome.